everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, passing may come at a cost. The Cardinals are #1 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against a Seahawks team that will need to avoid those turnovers. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It hosted Super Bowls 42 and 49. And it's University of Phoenix Stadium. That's where we're at in Glendale, Arizona. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. First down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The inaugural drive for this offense today, and the guy we're going to talk about, Michael Floyd.
Starting to develop into a #1 receiver, a guy that you'll count on downfield.
Seven yards to go on second down. Here's Romo now on second down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be third down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Now Romo. And able to find Decker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now.
Check, 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 gun, check, check, check.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They go to Johnson again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. He's got Floyd out left. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive.
Set. Right 20. Right 20.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Complete. Richardson has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down and 4. Again, it's Johnson. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down.
Set, right, 20.
Halfback sent in motion.
Check, check, check.
Romo looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll drop to throw. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2nd down to the offense, needing 5 yards. And they'll run it here. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So they're operating in the red zone. The play clock's running down. They'll try to run with Rawls. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Yards still to go here on 2nd and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tavon Austin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot in the end zone and made it pay off.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Here's Romo now on second down. Man open left side is Brown. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Two yards to go here on third down.
Here we go.
3rd and 2, it's Romo. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Austin. Look at the dance and the juke. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now a handoff as they run left side. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. It's Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Offense needs something here on second down. It is 2nd and long.
Check. Here we go.
On second down, here's Romo. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. 3rd and long here. It's Romo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. They'll set up to throw. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's caught. Baldwin. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He finds his man. It's Austin. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tavon Austin with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Hauschka now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out now come the Cardinals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Watch right there. Watch right there. You ain't going nowhere. Here we go.
On first down, it's Romo. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Cliff Averill in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Lockett the return. Tyler Lockett. He's at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And, partner, that's exactly how you become a Pro Bowl return man. Doesn't matter whether it's a kickoff, a punt return. Tyler Lockett can take it to the house. What was it? He and Dwayne Harris of the Giants in 2016?
Yeah, only two,
right?
That return both a kickoff and a punt return, and we see more of his electricity there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see. What adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Romo here on first down. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Check.
They come up in an offset eye. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's got room. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Romo. He's got Floyd out left. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Eric Decker, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete. Richardson has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Try to lay one up deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. And it's 4th and 3. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do. But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board. Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive? We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Here's Romo now on second down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion. They come up in an offset eye. Now Romo. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd, and that'll bring up second down. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense. Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On second down, Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. Throwing on third down, Romo. It's brought in by Floyd. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Ready,
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On the ground with Ripkowski, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Everyone got 4 down. Here we go. Check.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Let's go.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll try the air now with Romo. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now Romo. He's got the hook up to John Brown to the right side. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Shift together here from the D-line. Now it's Romo dumping it off for Johnson. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come out here in the eye. Romo keeps it on the sneak. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. and they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. One receiver right, that's Brown. After the run, now Romo going to throw. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
2nd down on the offense in search of 6 yards.
Hey, now let's go. Green, 30, Leopard.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
The Seahawks send out their punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here's Romo now on second down. It's caught left side by John Brown. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And now they're in the hurry up.
Check. Here we go.
Romo looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Over the middle here to Brown. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go now.
Desperation time for Romo on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer. He just dropped the pass. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Let's go now.
Back to the air they go. Romo on second down. To Decker over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they're going to speed things up here. Romo now to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
Here we go. Check.
Throwing on 3rd down. Romo. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.